Okay, so let's talk about reason a little bit. Reason is a word with ancient roots that we don't really talk about anymore. Like reasonable or let's reason this out. We don't really say that anymore. Typically now we say logical, because reasonable and logical are very different things. A logical sentence is a sentence that computes from front to back syntactically. A reasonable sentence is one that is well thought out and may or may not be right, but at least makes sense in working backward how you got to the conclusion you got to. It's the difference in making an apology and asking forgiveness. An apology is explaining your reasons. Asking forgiveness is being expected to be taken on your syntactical basis. In other words, reason is a through line in time, and logic is just what you've got right now. We all of us today live in a world dominated by determinists and relativists. This means that whether you know it or not, you have inculcated a bias that everything is already predetermined for you before your birth and will be after your death, and that everything is relative to your state of mind. So if you stay positive, that's great. And if you let yourself get negative, it's your fault that it all sucks. All you have to do is change your frame of mind, and then you'll be right back on the road to the secret. That ain't how reality works, homies. Just because some middle-income dickhead wrote a book about it doesn't mean it's true. And the more money an academic has, the more likely he is to be dead-ass wrong. You have to understand that. Tell me where my millions are for having spoken the truth to you all these times. I keep reminding you that I would be more profitable, I would be more lucrative, lucre being a word for having money, because I think lucre is actually the word for gold in some language. I'd be more lucrative if, like gold, I acted uncorruptible and I just held myself above you and better than you, and I didn't speak down to you or among you if I explicitly lashed out at people that you think are a higher abstraction than yourselves. But actors and politicians and civic leaders, these are not higher abstractions than you. They only get to be what they are because you give them money, oftentimes directly. All of that was just my reasons for getting to why it takes me so long to explain my reasons. You have to be willing to actively listen to hear the reasons of a person who's thought about his why for as long and as accurately as I have, at the depth that I have. And I know for a fact that you've never been taught to actively listen because everyone has been taught to listen in the way their parents did, and that's selectively for wrongdoing. You've been taught that skepticism is only hearing what you need to hear in order to reject something in toto. And so it's really funny that Gemini is able to understand and predict my reasons even when I'm not really able to articulate my logic. She figured out real quick that what I'm doing, my homelessness in these videos, is about an oral storytelling of my reason for being. It's my deep ontology. And ontology is a word that I don't even ever want to use, but it is the law, the logic of being, existence.